and Ray Ratto back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Ray?
You forgot the part where you then pointed at the questioner and said, "I condemn you to death."
Who was the one who asked that question? Did you ask him that question, Ray?
No, I was ensconced in our studios here at CSN Bay Area.
Okay.
That was Lowell Cohn of the Santa Rosa Press Democrat.
Well, he was the one who went at Chip about Kaepernick earlier this year and kind of lost that one in the battle.
And he kind of lost. Well, and I wouldn't say that he lost this one, but he got Jed to say what we all know, which is that owners are emperors, and unless you're planning to kill the emperor stays the emperor. So, I mean, I think it was a question designed to get that response, and it got it. So now you have the soundbite of the year 2 days into the year.
We do.
Which means the other 363 days are going to suck.
Well, what do you make of this move? I mean, for those who thought that Balky was the issue, I mean, he's now no longer the issue, right? I mean, so at least that might be a piece of red meat for 49ers fans to chew on. Ray, am I wrong?
Jed definitely threw Balky under the bus today by basically saying there was a communication problem between him and the coach. Well, let's see. That means there was a communication problem between him and Chip Kelly. Only 2 years after, there was a communication problem between him and Jim Harbaugh. And the system that Jed set up when he brought in Harbaugh was Harbaugh coaches the team, Balky is his superior, and chooses the 53-man roster. And he provides the players for which Harbaugh will coach. And now he's decided that doesn't work anymore. So basically, Jed repudiated the culture he set up, or the organizational structure he set up, because he's found that it's untenable. So now he's going to try to find a new one in which the general manager and the coach are all but common law man and wife, agreeing on everything together, hand in hand, and from that producing great football. That might work, that might not work, but in basically saying that this was Balky's fault, Jed was indirectly saying that he got it wrong. And now he's floundering around to see if he can get it right. Because if we know anything about Jed York and about a lot of people in management structures, they know what they don't like once they've decided they don't like it. But they have a hard time articulating what they do like and what they do want. And that's where Jed York is right now.
Well, in the conversations that I've had with him, Ray, he strikes me as he is a smart guy, and he does have a head on his shoulders that works in a very intellectual way from what I had in conversations I have had with him. But I think he definitely, from what it seems to me, wants to do this on his own. Do you know if there's any possibility? Does he call his Uncle Eddie and say, what do you think? Does he use him as a sounding board at all, well, Eddie DeBartolo?
I'm not sure that he does. And even if he did, and I don't want to be overly critical here. Well, yes, I do. But
okay.
Eddie got magnificently lucky one time in his ownership career. And that's when he was convinced to hire Bill Walsh. Because Bill Walsh is the one who created that structure back in the 80s. He hired John McVay to be the general manager. He hired the scouting directors. He made the football organization that worked well for 15 years. So if Eddie was going to give him any realistic advice, the only thing he could tell him is get lucky with a hire. And that's just the truth, because most owners don't have football backgrounds. They have business backgrounds. And guys who can be really good at business are not necessarily good at football organization. So it seems sort of disingenuous to expect Jed to know more about football than football people.
Well, in that respect,
what he has to do is be able to hire one guy,
right,
and then turn over the entire football side of the organization to him and say, make this work. And very few owners can do that because they need to feel in control. They need to be in the room. They need to have input. And when they have input, they are giving it to people who should have more input than they do.
CSN Bay Area's Ray Ratto at Ratto CSN on Twitter joining me here. Could David Shaw be that guy, though, Ray? Couldn't he be that guy? Go the Harbaugh route, go into Stanford and get somebody from that tree, get somebody from Stanford like Bill Walsh, right? I mean, like go get David Shaw. Do you think that's possible?
Well, Shaw has shown a great reluctance to want to leave where he is, but I think I'd make the phone call anyway and say, you know what? I'll give you $10 million a year. You can hire your own general manager, and you do the football ops. Is he going to do that? No, because that's what it would take to pry David Shaw out. Because David Shaw is not only a guy who's running his own program now, he has better access to football people than Jed does. So the only way you're going to pry him out of Stanford is to overwhelm him with a level of money and control that he's never given to anybody else. So he should try, but he will be rebuffed because he won't do the one thing that really is required if you want David Shaw that badly, which is to give him control of the operation. Because that's what he's got at Stanford.
Exactly, but if he's given out if Jed York's given out $60 million in dead money salary, as Adam Schefter's reporting, and the idea that I had a very monolithic head coach in terms of personality and style, and also somebody who wanted a certain way to run a program, had that guy, let him go because of a personality clash between me and him or people in the building, and now you went the other way and it didn't work. Why not just go ahead and start from scratch and go in that direction and let David Shaw be that guy? Because at least you're telling the fan base, I'm going and getting the guy from the local spot who's going to get his first chance, and let's see if the local guy can make good. Ray.
Oh, I'm not saying he shouldn't do that. I'm saying he should expect to hear no. I'm saying that David Shaw that he should make a real effort to go after David Shaw, basically taking a flyer that a guy who's never coached in the NFL before, could turn this around the way Bill Walsh did. But he would have to A, overpay, and B, be willing to not be on the football side of the building, because David Shaw has almost complete autonomy at Stanford, and he doesn't have anywhere near the press responsibilities. I mean, he's got it as perfect as a coach can have it. So you would basically have to give him the keys to the building and more money than any other coach just to get him to think about it. But he should do that. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
I'm saying that David Shaw might still say no.
Ray Ratto of CSN Bay Area joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Before I let you go, sir, what are the Raiders?
Sure.
What are the? Yeah, I come on, man.
What the hell are you talking to?
I respect you immensely.
Give it time; that'll blow over.
What are the Raiders doing? What are they going to do here? I mean, here they have a great shot. Now it's all circling the drain because of a terrible, unfortunate injury at quarterback, with the Vegas thing sitting out there as well. Walk me through what you think the next weeks and months for the Raiders are going to be, Ray.
Well, the next week or two is going to be trying to figure out a way to beat two really good defensive teams with no quarterback at all. I mean, with all due respect to Connor Cook, he's not experienced. I mean, they have good players around him, but a bad quarterback can undo a lot of things. So I think if they're not one and done, they're going to be two and done. As far as Vegas goes, we're still where we were, which is the other owners have to decide if they are willing to accept Sheldon Adelson in a smaller market that makes them nervous, or staying in Oakland, in a city where they're lukewarm about, helping him build anything, and basically have hired contractors or people in charge of getting a stadium built whom they don't like. And swirling over all of that is how they can best ease Mark Davis out of a controlling position. And until they figure out what's the best way to get a desired result, my theory is that I think they're going to say we don't have enough time. And kick the can down the road another year. Because
Right.
if you have the Chargers leaving and then the Raiders leaving on top of that, then what you've done, is talked about, continuity of the league, and had three of your franchises move in the space of 13 18 months.
Ray,
I think they're gonna kick it down the road.
Ray, you take care of yourself. Happy New Year. Thanks for calling in today. Appreciate it.
Well, let's not say Happy New Year yet. It's still early. Let's see how it plays out.
All right. That's Ray Ratto, CSN Bay Area.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.